Welcome to this episode of River Reboot. Today we're going to do a little lower unit love. I hope you've been watching my other videos with how to change the oil in your Mercury 350 Verado, how to change fuel filters, and how to change fuel filter water separator. Well, today we're going to change the oil in this lower unit, hopefully save you some money. To do this lower unit job, you're going to need some gear lube 90 weight oil here from Mercury. You're going to need something to put it back in the lower unit, the Mercury gear lube pump. And you're going to need some 246 marine grease when you reinstall your prop. The two wrenches you're going to need a 10 millimeter ratchet socket set here. And you're also going to need some kind of torque wrench to torque that bolt back on for your prop. Now, can you believe that somebody put on this tool here, it says Brian's, not John's? Are they trying to imply that I'm a thief or something? The first thing you need to get your 2x4, stick it in here to hold the prop from spinning when you want to break this nut loose. My socket is a 1 inch and 1/16, and I got a big, get your breaker bar or torque wrench, make sure you're good on it, and you want to just break it loose. There you go. Get the nut off. 3 washers right here. Make sure you keep everything in order so it goes back together and you won't have no issues, because it is the nut, a thin washer, a medium-sized washer, and a thicker washer. I don't know if you can see that. See the difference in the size? Okay, now that I got everything off, it should just slide off easy. She's heavy, be careful though. All right, now it's got this little inside piece that goes on here. Easy. There you go. There's your splines. Be careful not to hit those. Okay, here's the 2 nuts you got to take out. Notice they had a screwdriver. You can use a screwdriver, but it's easy to scar or strip it or tear up the nut. So I use a ratchet 10 millimeter. It's going to loosen them both up and then lower the outdrive. All right, I finished loosening them with the ratchet here and pulled the plug completely out. Make sure you replace your washers. Just gotta get the top out, let air get to it so the lower unit oil can free flow out. There she comes. She started. All right, you notice I got the motor all the way down. I took the front of the boat down so I'd have room and give it some negative trim here so this lower unit oil will come out easy. All right, while you're waiting for that to drain, I go ahead and put my new washers on so I don't forget. Have them ready to go. You'll get your pump out here, and this little tip comes off the end, and then that screws right into your lower unit plug hole so you can pump the oil in. I'll screw the pump down into the oil. The gear lube fits perfect. This piece right here, plastic, just screws right into this plug slot so you can pump the oil in. It's screwed in a lot easier once I unhook this part out of the oil bottle, let it spin easier. You just snug it up. You just start pumping till you see the oil go through the tube, and voila, into the lower unit. And it should start pumping out of the top once it gets full. Okay, you can see she's trying to come out the front, so I'm gonna lift the motor up a little bit and put the top bolt in. Get that started. It's gonna be leaking. This is the tricky part. You gotta be moving when this baby comes out to get the other plug in quickly, so you don't lose too much fluid. There we go. Make sure it's not stripped. It's going in good. Snug it up. Good and snug, but you don't want to over tighten them. Okay. Throw your little cap back on this so you don't make a mess when you put it back in a box somewhere. Till next time, you'll need to buy some more. You know, one quart does it all, but it won't do nothing else. Okay, before you put your prop back on, you want to look, make sure you don't have any fishing line, make sure nothing's damaged in here. Everything looks good, and you want to add some 2,4-C Quicksilver marine grease before we get it on. You should at least take your prop off at least once a year. The little sleeve goes back on first. Make sure it lines up. Make sure it's all the way seated. All right, and we got time to slide the prop on. Get it lined up. Make sure it's fully seated. Spins, looks good before you put the nut on. Remember, if you're not sure about these washers, look it up in your owner's manual. I always put mine back on the same way they came off. Time to put a nut. Okay, time for your old handy dandy 2x4. You just want to tighten her up using your torque wrench. All right, my owner's manual says it should be 55.3 on the torque wrench. Hear that pop? That means I reached that level. Don't over tighten it, and you need to make sure it's tight enough. Now that we got all the maintenance done on this Mercury 350, it's almost time to go fishing, but we got to wash and wax. So my advice to you is get some child labor.